Be seated. I think I have to start right now because it's like 5:08. กราบนมัสการพระอาจารย์ศักยวงศ์วิสุทธิ์ and friends and colleagues. I would like to thank that he kindly accept the invitation right away when we sent the invitation to him. I was blessed. So we are all here today since today marks the first anniversary of the passing of our beloved King Bhumibol Adulyadej. All over the country, Thai citizens and entities in both the public and private sector are organizing rites to pay tribute and homage to the late king, and so are we. This morning at the UNCC, many staff joined the Staff Council in offering alms to a number of monks from Wat Benjamapapit as merit making dedicated to the King Bhumibol. And now we are going to be blessed by Dr. Prat Sakayavong Visut, the assistant abbot of Wat Bawanivet Vihan, and he's the rector of the World Buddhist. Prajan is really famous in giving speech to many international organizations, including United Nations offices, and Prajan also came here once during the Visakha Pusha. And Prajan just came back from UNESCO because he delivered a speech during the International Peace Conference last month. I hope we all will be enlightened by the teaching and will continue to live a self-sufficiency life that King Bhumibol had been wanting us to do. Thank you. กราบนมัสการพระอาจารย์
The Executive Secretary of ESCAP, Dr. Shamshad Akhtar, and all Staff Association of ESCAP, and one who come and join this afternoon's event. Of course, I guess this is not the gathering we would like to gather. We all came here and trying to show our respect or our gratitude to the late His Majesty. We know that it was last year, this very day, His Majesty left us for good. Although all Thai people, although one who knows him well, likewise didn't expect that it was so soon that His Majesty left us. Since then, this is a 1 year. A year of sadness, a year of sorrow, and we are here by that very cause to come and at least to express how much we love him. For Thai who has been living so far, looking at the faces of everyone here, I guess that we are brought up in his reign. Since our childhood, when we were born, we have already seen the pictures, the portrait, the activities of late Majesty from all medias, and especially my own case. I was fortunate enough to have audience several times, not directly, but as an assistant to His Holiness Somdet Panyana Songwan, who is the chaplain monk of the very king and who just passed away about 4 years ago. We, as a Thai and one who lives in Thailand, very well know that His Majesty King is truly King of Kings. What he has done throughout his 70 years of reigning is not something we can see often with any leadership. His Majesty's leadership as a king is a truly exemplary one. In Thai language, or in the Buddhist text, king is called Raja. In Thailand, we call Paracha. When we heard of the word Raja or the king, I guess in English, the etymology of king is just simple as a ruler of the country. But in Asian context, in Oriental context, the word Raja has a very deep meaning than just a ruler. The making of the word Raja or the king simply means that one who gladdens others, or one who gives happiness to others. That is a true meaning of Raja, etymologically. So, when we look back the compassion in action of His Majesty the King throughout 70 years, and it truly proved to be a king or Raja, because throughout these 70 years, he has given so much to his subjects. He has given everything what he got. he did everything not for his own sake, but he did it for his subjects. He did it for this Thailand. He did it for this world. That's why he is the king of the king. The way he handled the problem in the country, the way he led the country, is truly exemplary as he takes responsibility of happiness and prosperity of his subjects more than his own health and his own happiness. I'm saying this with very firm evidence, with my own. I will share you some of the stories which I happen to be part of the stories. A long time ago, it's something around 1970s, His Majesty was requested by one of the senior royal family members to go to Lumbini, where Buddha was born. Because seeing that, His Majesty is a very pious Buddhist. He is not only Buddhist in the name of religious affiliation, but he truly studied, practiced, and become an exemplary Buddhist to the world. So that's why one of the senior members of the royal family suggested him that at least His Majesty should go to see or go to visit where Buddha was born at Lumbini. And when he was requested in that way, His Majesty King says that, okay, I would like to go there very much. I will go one day. But that one day never came. So that senior member of the royal family went and see His Majesty again, and then because of his seniority in royalty, I was told at the time that he was the only one man in this country who can scold the king. And that man, that relative, went and told the king again that, when you said that you will go and visit the Buddha's birthplace for your own goodness, but you never made it. When you are going? If you are not doing that, I'm going to arrange the pilgrimage that myself. When? Give me the time. On that very forceful request, then the king then told that he has some problem. And what was the problem? King said that, I made a vow some time ago that I will not go to any places unless my people are happy and prosperous. Then the royal senior members, the royal members, then asked that, well, then how do you measure that? Don't you think that the Thai people are happy now? Don't you think that Thailand is prosperous? The year you ascended to the throne, till now, what I see is that Thailand has been very much prosperous. Thai people have been living in happy, so much than ever before. Then what is your measurement saying that you won't leave unless Thai people are happy? His Majesty humbly answered him that, I don't know, but my heart tells me that Thai people are still in suffering, and I wouldn't leave them. The this story really tells us. And this is not a story. This is a first-hand story I was told by that very royal senior family member of the king. His name is, I think, is a Major General พระเจ้าวรวงศ์เธอพระองค์เจ้าพานุพันธ์ยุคน His Royal Highness, who happened to be my monastic sponsor. So whatever happened, he used to come and tell me the stories. So nobody knows this story. So this is your king. This is our king, who put the happiness of ours than his own. So how can you compare, how can you find such a human being in this earth? So that's why from religious point of view, we always say that he's not a normal human being like us. He's a living God. He's a living God among us. Because what do we mean by God? God or Tevata in Thai language basically or simply means that one who gives what people ask for. You don't have to fancy that what is a God living in heaven and so, up in the cloud. That is a fantasy, that is a stories. But etymologically the word Devata, etymologically the word God in Eastern language derivation, it just simply means that one who gives people or one who gives things, one who makes people happy as they want it to be. That's why we have to call him that he was a truly God, a living God among us. We always pray to different gods and goddesses, but I don't know how much pleasure, how much satisfactions we got from those worshipping. But for this very king, we don't have to worship him. We don't have to ask him. But he is there wherever the problem is. Every nook and corner of the country. It is not a politician. It is not a government administration. It was the king who find the problem. It was the king who pinpoint the problem and able to solve that problem for them. For what? Not for any vote, not for any salary, not for any admiration, but hoping that with his engagement will give that happiness, will give that gladness to his subject with self-sacrification. There are so many stories I can share with you, which is my personal stories, but I guess that the time we have here today to remember His Majesty is not that enough. So just to bring the story to something which is close to ESCAP or United Nations, or even UNESCO, I would like to bring your attention on the word Dharma Raja. Dharma Raja, which means that the king by virtue, generally as is translated, or the king by his dharma, king who bears the dharma. But if we really understand the word the Dharma Raja, the Dhammika king, basically it is directly related with the United Nations, especially in this moment. It was, as everyone of us here knows, that it was in the last year, I think it was on the 23rd September 2015, that the United Nations adopted that every nation will gear their country to the, what do you call it, SDG, Sustainable Development Goals, which are about 17 points and then over hundreds of points or something, 117 or something. What is SDG actually? I was very glad to witness in the UNESCO last month on the 26th, when Secretary General of UNESCO, Madam Irina Bokova, herself says that actually it was just recently that UNESCO or the United Nations adopted the how we develop our country according to the Sustainable Development Goal. But all the blueprint of that Sustainable Development Goal has been drawn, has been really acted by the king a long, long ago. That's why when the head of the Staff Association went and asked me, I said that, okay, my topic for this afternoon will be King of Sustainability. That is a direct translation of Dhamma Raja, actually. It is nothing new. The word Dhamma Raja, which we always translated as the king, Dhammika king, or king by virtue, or king by dharma. When I was invited to speak at the United Nations headquarters back in 2012, and also in I think the last 2 years and a few many other times, then I came across this idea of sustainable development goals, and then I happened to be invited to be a think tank for that, to go through each of the sustainable development goal, that how can we materialize those things. The first thing I asked the United Nations at the time is that, what do you mean by sustainable development? And when we talk about sustainable development, the definition you are giving is compromising this and that for the future generation, compromising your own needs in a way that there is something to leave for the future generation, to be very crude, as I remembered. But when I look back and trying to really research on the word sustainable or sustain, then it really enlightened me a few things. Actually, when we talk about sustain, and especially here I see many Thai faces. In Thai language, even it worse actually, to be honest, when they translate it. Sustainable development in Thailand, they translate as การพัฒนาที่ยั่งยืน Am I right? การพัฒนาที่ยั่งยืน But I'm not a linguistic. But if I really fire back you with this word, it doesn't make sense. It's an oxymoron word. Because การพัฒนา or development means that it's changing. And ยั่งยืน or sustainable in Thai language, it translates simply as stillness, not changing, forever. Is there anything which is go forever we call development? There's nothing. Everything needs to change in order to get that development. But if you say that ยั่งยืน means that if it is not changing at all, it is forever like that, then where is the change? I am from the religious background. So from my perspective as a Buddhist monk, Buddhism teaches that everything in this world is impermanent. And ยั่งยืน is permanent. The word development is impermanent. So what do we mean by that? Changing the permanency? Developing the permanency? Can we develop the permanency in this world? So it's very weird for me. I don't know. So when I look at how this word come in English, sustain, it's very interesting. Because the word sustain happened to be coming from the Latin word, sub, sub, which later becomes sus, is a prefix. Simply means that from below. It is from below. With a grounding, with a firm grounding. And the word tner means that holding, upholding. So basically, sustainable, what you simply means that It is something you hold with a ground, firm grounding, in a way that it wouldn't create a lot of problem from what you call the United Nations language status, social, economic, and environment. So we have to have that firm ground, and then we have to uphold things, go together, move together in kind of in balance. That is what sustainable really means from etymological point of view. And it applies to every field of work, be it education, be it politics, be it development, be it family, be it marriage, whatever. It simply means that how do we keep things in balance? Once I realized that what does it really meant in English, then I started to think, is there such word, sustainable development, in Buddhist terminology or in Buddhism? Then when I found out that, it was just amazing. I was just amazed with the idea Buddha had it 2,500 years ago. When Buddha was enlightened, and after enlightenment, he gave a first sermon, it is said, although it was not a first, but it says first sermon, which is called Dhamma Chakkapavattana Sutta, or the discourse moving the teaching of the Buddha. And in that very sutra, basically, that is, if I translate in this modern United Nations language, I will translate that this is a discourse on sustainable development in action. That is, I'm not making up, but that is the very translation I translated based on etymology. Dhamma Chakka Pavattana. Pavattana means that a behavior or put in actions. Chakka means that a development, going forward, and Dhamma means a sustain. Because the word Dhr is the root of the word Dhamma, same etymological root of the sustain in Latin, tner. It happened to be the same word, same meaning. In Latin it is called tner, in Sanskrit or in Pali called dhr, and in Sanskrit and Pali it's become a dharma or dhamma, in English become tner, and then when they have this firm grounding, they put add the S, S-U-S, sus, it becomes sustain. So the very word sustainable development has been used by the Buddha himself 2,500 years ago, or the whole idea of a Buddhist knowledge is happened to be sustainable development in action. So if you look at the whole story in that discourse, it started that we have to avoid two polarization, two extremes, and follow the middle path. And what is the middle path? And the middle path in terminology in Buddhism is called Eightfold Noble Path, which I won't go that everyone here. And that Eightfold Noble Path, in summarizing of our Eightfold Noble Path, is called three kinds of training. And that is the very essence His Majesty the King presented to this world as sufficiency economy in his own language. The crucial heart of sustainable development, which UN has been adopted, actually that adoption can be in actions and can be make it success through His Majesty's presentations on sufficiency economy. Sufficiency economy, again, is oxymoron. Because economy, as we know, it means that fulfilling our greed. Or to put it mildly, as academic, means that the management of the resources, limited resources, to fulfill our greed. Bringing that greed and need in balance is economy. We have a greed, and that greed never have that enough, and the resource is very limited. So how we bring that limited resources and our unlimited greed to imbalance, and that is the economy. So there is no such thing as economy in that way, and there is enough or sufficiency. It doesn't go together. It's another oxymoron. But why King used this oxymoron word? King has a purpose. He deliberately used this word, sufficiency economy, because it was a time when Thailand is going through a very bad economic crisis, the recessions of Tom Yam Kung. So King used that very aptly word here, เศรษฐกิจพอเพียง or sufficiency economy, and then later on, we as his follower, we as his subject, we even make it, I don't know, make it better or worse by putting the word philosophy behind that. I am sorry to say that I'm an anthropologist by my career, by my education. So I sometimes despise the philosophy. I see philosophy as just an idea. It's very good for discussions, very good for inspiring people and so and so. But in put in actions, I doubt it. So that's why I would say that when you say that a sufficiency economic philosophy, we make it worse what His Majesty wished well for us by the word principle or by the word action. We have to put sufficiency economy in actions. But it is oxymoron in a sense from our own understanding of the word economy here. Because word economy, as we understand, as I just explained in English, is as to bring the balance between the greed and need. In fact, even in English, economy, in the beginning, it was not meant to be something about money, something about business, as we are using so popularly as today's. Economy in 1530s, it means that management of household. Economist, as these days we become very expert in all these numberings, actually just means that is a manager of the household. In Europe, in the old churches, they still use the word, the title called economist, one who look after the churches about their housekeeping, everything they call economist. It's nothing to do with the money. It is nothing to do with the numbers as we understand these days. Of course, after the 19-something, Adam Smith, the things change and it's become economy as we understood, and our brain is washed to understand accordingly. But His Majesty King used the word economy here in the same meaning as the original meaning in English, and which is the same meaning as in origin in Pali and Sanskrit. Setthakit, Settha, Shrestha. Basically means that it's a noble, the best practice. Setthakit means that the best practice. Simply, if you put it in a way. Settha means a noble, the best. Kit means that action or practice. So what His Majesty was saying here is that the sufficiency is the best practice of all. He was using the same word, but he didn't mean economy as a money. He means that a virtue, which if we develop that virtue within us, then we can experience the happiness there. The whole essence of sufficiency economy is how can we experience happiness in our bustling and busy life, where we lack of that suffering, and we are lack of that happiness. We always pursuing it, as in English phrase always says that pursue for happiness. And because of pursuing, we never get there. We never experience happiness because we are always pursuing. Once we're there, again more and more and more. The whole idea of happiness is that when you stop the pursuing, when you're able to say that enough, when you're able to say that I am fine with whatever going on, then that pursuing happiness, which is so difficult to get it, then you will experience the happiness. Basically, that is what His Majesty came about, sufficiency economy. So, to put it very simply, the sufficiency economy of His Majesty King, if you are working in this development plan, you will see the 3 circles joining together as a triangle, and there is what we call moderation. In Thailand, they call Paw Praman, and then Mi Phum Kan, Mi Phum Kum Kan. They translate in English as a prudence, which sometimes very abstract, and then the other one is another circle is reasonableness. But I was so happy that Madame Bokova, United Nations, she didn't follow the Thai way of translation of those 3 words. She translated it as moderation. The second one she translated as risk management. She didn't translate it as a prudence. She thought that what King has shown us is a risk management and then reasonableness. So it really makes sense. That is basically is the essence of what Buddha taught, or the essence of Buddhism at all. It's called Sila, Samadhi, Panya. Sila means that moderation, which means that generally if we put things in balance, that's what it means. And the second is samadhi, or sometimes these days we call mindfulness, we call meditation. Why mindfulness, mindful awareness, meditation is so popular these days? Because the outcome of meditations or mindful awareness or mindfulness is creating that risk management within your mind. When you have to deal with so many things through your eyes, nose, ears, and so many distractions are going on, once you're able to control, once you're able to stay still, then you can see things clearly. Then you are able to take it things as it comes. That is what we call is resiliency. That is what we call it risk management. That is what is His Majesty call it Mi Phum Kum Kan. Creating the immune system, creating that something, the virtue within yourself that it can protect you. Imagine. At the moment, every one of us here listening to my presentation here, if my presentation is interesting to you, I guess that you are very concentrated with my wordings, with my sayings. If not, of course, your mind will be jumping around at what you want to do this evening. I want to do this, I want to do that, what's going to be have my dinner. Somebody may thinking that I want to go to pay respect to His Majesty King, and so on and so. So you are distracted. But if you are very concentrated, you are very mindful, whatever going on here, people are coming in, going out, whatever distractions, it doesn't bother you. That is basically what means that you have to create that virtue, that capacity within yourself to build yourself. That is what King was saying. The word samadhi in Buddhism. It is not that closing your eyes and shut off and run away from the problem. No, that is the whole virtues that how do you encounter the problem in front of you actually. And if you don't have virtue, you don't have that risk management from the Madame Bokowa's way of saying, or the way of His Majesty saying that the Mi Phum Kon immune system or resiliency itself, that is how you deal with the things in your life. So it is, you can use it in economy, of course, as a business. You can use it in your marriage. You can use it in your education. But it is not something about money alone. But it is something that how to develop your humanity. Reasonableness is basically panya. What is panya? Panya is very easy to understand actually. If I say, what is this? Everyone say this, you might say this is a paper. Is this your wisdom? Is this your knowledge? I say no. Because you say the paper, it is just a validation of your memory. from our childhood. From our childhood, we were told that something like this is paper, and then when I show this, everyone just validate as you see. But if it is a panya, means that it is a multi-dimensional seeing, or it is a kind of X-ray way of seeing. They call, sometimes in Buddhist term, it's called vipassana. Vi means that extraordinary, passana means that seeing extraordinarily, or seeing like X-ray eyes. So if you X-rays this paper, what you will see? Nothing, because there is no substance in it. So therefore, when the word knowledge or the word panya, reasonableness, is that if I ask you what is this, you might be able to answer me. If you are wise enough, you might answer that this is a cloud, a piece of cloud maybe. Because if there is no cloud, will there be any rain? Without any rain, will there be any trees and plants? Without tree and plants, will there be any paper? So what is there in paper? So we see through it, piercing through it, inside knowledge. So that is a reasonableness, panya. And that is the heart of Buddhist teaching Buddha gave in the first sermon, or the whole idea of the Buddhist teaching is based on this three things. And His Majesty King was so smart enough to secularize that religious idea and present it to this world as a blueprint to make the sustainable development goal a true. So this is some of the idea, what I call the sacrifice, the present, the gift, the legacy His Majesty's left with us. And the word dharma here actually, the word sustain here, therefore means, when you say Dhamma Raja, the Raja means that one who gladdens others by giving the happiness to others. And in this sense, Dharma Raja basically means that the someone who gladdens others by virtue of sustainability, by his virtue, giving that sustainability to the peoples. So that's why I would say that His Majesty King is a true king of sustainability. With this word, I think it is only 2 more minutes for us to come to that very time, which was the time which we never expect, we never wanted to come. If it's possible, we want to stop our clock there. But things are impermanent. And His Majesty, the King, shown just as the Buddha himself says that all our body compounded things are impermanence. One day we have to leave. Who you are, be a Buddha, be a king, be a merchant, be a whoever. The death severe all of us. So we have to accept that. But how do we accept that? So one way of accepting the death is that consoling our own mind. So I would like to request all of us to think after all the good things what His Majesty has done as his legacies, and it is on our shoulder to make that legacies happen as a true, and make this earth a real nice place, a heaven and earth, as His Majesty has been devoted all his life. So I will ask all of you to think of all those goodness in a way that trying to shut down all your impulses which is coming through your senses, and then think of His Majesty in loving memory for 9 minutes. Now, ปิปรมินโดโสภูมิบาโลมหิสโรสวิริโยสมุสสาโหดิฆาดัสสิวิจักขโนอธิราชามหารัญญาโลกภาเกมหิตเลไดยานังเดวภูโตโคธารมาโนปสังสิโตสักกะโตจนตาเยวะสัมมานิโตภิปูจิโตไดยวาสีนามัทายาหิตายาจาสุขายจาสัตตติวัสสกาเลวารัจจังธัมเมนะการเยเอวังจาราจมัจจุจาอาทิวตันติภูปติงขัตติเยบรามเนเวเสสุดเดจันดาลปุกุเสนากินจิปริวัจเจติสัพพเมวะภิมัดดติตัสมาหิปันดิโตโปโสสัมปัสสังอัตถมัตตโนสัมปะเดเยวะภิโยโสอัปปมาเดนะจีวิตังอัปปมัตโตอุโภอัตเถอธิกันหาติเจตโสเดเทธัมเมจโยอัตโธโยจัตโธสัมปรายิโกสวาคาตัสสะปาทัสสะอัตถังอัญญายสาธุกังปาติปัจเจทเมธาวีอาโมขังจีวิตังยถายันดดานิเมกตังปุญญังเตนาเนนุดิเสนะจายากาจิกุสลามยาสาสุเขนาสิชตังสดาปารมินทมหาราชาภากีโหตุวปติยาเขมาปดัญจะปปโปตุตัสสะสะสิชตังสุภาติ Let's look at English and then you can read accordingly. The late His Majesty King Bhumibol Adulyadej had ruled the country with great perseverance, enthusiasm, with far-sighted vision and wisdom. He was the king of the kings in this world. He had received praises, respect, admiration, and worship as the living God of Thai people. He ruled his reign throughout 70 years for happiness and benefit of people of Siam. And old age and death severe everyone and every caste, no exception of the warrior and rulers, priests and teachers, farmers, traders and merchants, laborers and untouchables. Death destroys everything equally. Therefore, a wise one, contemplating on the benefit of the self, runs his life with awareness. Person who lives with awareness gains two benefits, which are of present and future benefits. The wise one, who understands the essence of these verses, as taught by the Buddha, and practice accordingly, will live a meaningful life, just as the late His Majesty the King. By the power of all merits that I have accumulated now and in the past, as well as this merit dedication to the late His Majesty King, may my wholesome wishes be succeeded. May the late His Majesty King Bhumibol Adulyadej be part of the receiver of this merit we are dedicating towards him. May the late His Majesty attain the ultimate peace, that is Nibbana. May all wholesome wishes of the late His Majesty King come into success at once. Sadhu. I think this will end our very brief ceremony and my presentation.